folks, good afternoon once again, and welcome back to another video by Wealth2Tech/VU3 Golf 50 November. In this video, I'll cover how to test a radio for this meter calibration using TinySA. I have some numbers here which we'll follow, and these are the defined standards for S values. So very simple. If it is S5, it is 97 dB, and the list goes on till about it is S5, it is minus 97 dB, and S9 plus 40 dB, it is 40 is 33 dB, minus 33 dB, right? So let's use the TinySA basic that I have to test the G90, and in the next video I'll test it with 7300. Right now what we have is, as we saw in the previous video, the max the TinySA basic can go is minus 76 dB. So what we can test is only from here, right? So this is only from S9 we can test, because we can set it to 73 dB and then test it downwards, right? So G90, the settings that we'll have is the preamp on and with the RF gain set to 100%. That's the setting we'll use on the G90 to test it. And I'll be connecting a small SMA cable to the low antenna, because we'll be testing at 7050 kilohertz or 7.050 megahertz. So we'll be testing that here directly. Since we are not sending any signal to the TinySA, we don't need any attenuator. The radio can handle the attenuation. Okay, let me come back and give you a better view of the radio plus the TinySA. So I have set up the G90, connected it to the TinySA here, and let's start the test. We are on 7050 with the preamp on, and let me zoom in. Okay, as you can see, I've got the preamp on, the tuner on. We don't need the tuner. I'll just switch it off. The noise blanker is on. I'll switch it off. We don't need that. Then the compression is on. We don't need that. We can turn it off. Just the preamp is on, and the AGC is set to RF gain at 100%. That's what we'll be testing against, and let's see what the results are. Okay, let me zoom out, and let me take this here just to show what I'm doing here. So we go back. We have calibrated this. We have done a self-test, so we are good to go. And I am at frequency. I'll put it at okay, we don't have to change this. We can just go to mode, switch to low out. We'll be doing low out, and the frequency will be 7050 kilohertz, right? And we'll be testing at S9. So this will be minus 73 dB, right? We'll be testing at minus 73 dB. I think you remember when I showed you, we'll be testing at 70, which is S9. 73 dB is what we are testing at, right? Okay, and let's move this a little bit back. I can move this. The battery. Okay, let me keep the battery up top. Okay, that's better. Okay, so I'll put this in FM mode, because that is what we'll be testing, narrow FM mode, and FM 3 kilohertz. I don't want 75 kilohertz. That's too wide a spectrum. Actually, it would have been great if one of the options here was 1 kilohertz or 0.5 kilohertz. Maybe we get that in ultra, at least not in basic. AM is too scattered. I don't want that. FM 3 kilohertz is good enough. So we have everything set. 7050. The radio is on 7050. 73 dBm, and then 1000 hertz audio. Bandwidth is 3 kilohertz at 7050. Right. So it will be in the center. So I'm assuming it is 1.5 kilohertz on the on either side of the frequency, and external gain sweep is off. We don't want all that, right? So let's zoom in. I think we have already zoomed in. More I can zoom in. Yeah, but this should be good enough. Okay, let's switch on the frequency. and you can see that it is showing S9. That's perfect. So I'll repeat the readings once again, the settings once again. We have set the RF gain to 100%. We have set the pre-on. That's how you should be doing the testing. We are sending the level is minus 73 dB, and as per the chart, I'll be putting up the chart in this video as well. But S9 should be minus 73 dB. I explained why we can't go or test below S9 in TinySA Basic, because it doesn't support. TinySA Ultra goes to minus 116 dB. So we are at S9, and if we zoom this a little bit, S9 plus 10 dB is minus 63 dB. So let's go down to increase by 10 dB. So we are having one dot yellow. I think that is 10 dB. I think it's pretty accurate. Let me zoom in a little bit. Yeah, as you can see, it's pretty accurate. Go one more to 53 dB. This is S9 plus 20, which should be minus 53 dB. That is what we have said, and it is showing up to 40 dB. So I think the values are overshooting now. Another 10 dB, 43 dB. It's gone to 60 dB there, and S9 plus 40 dB should be 33 dB. When we are at it should be S9 plus 30 dB is minus 43 dB. It's already showing 60 dB. So let's cut it off. I don't want to damage the finals. So okay, so that's the test. I think up to S9 and S9 10 dB, I think it is valid. The signal S meter is okay, but not beyond that. That should be fine, I guess. This is G90. We'll see what the report will come back on 7300. Thank you very much for being part of this video and watching this. I'll come back with 7300 test setup. Thank you. So I've got the 7300 ready and hooked up to the TinySA Basic, and I have set up the test parameters in the signal generator, and also the radio is tuned to 7050 kilohertz. In LSB, though I'm pushing out FM, I think the signal report should come fine, and I'm keeping it at the second preamp. The final preamp is used for all the testing. Exactly same what we did with G90. It's got only one level of preamp and then attenuator. Here 7300 has two preamp levels, so we are going with the second one, right? So let me just start the output, and you can see the signal report is exactly at 59 at 100%. Now let's increase that to 63 dB, minus 63 dB. Minus 63 dB should give us 10 dB over S9 over 10 dB. So that is giving us, since there is no marking here, I'm seeing 3 dots there. I don't know if it is 10 dB or 15 dB, but that's in the range. We can go with that. And then 53 dB is S9 over 20 dB. I can see, assuming that the first red dot is 20 dB, I'll go with that 20, 40, 60. And then we'll go with 43 dB. It should be 30 dB. I think it's on track there. And then we'll go with 43 dB. It's at 40 dB. It's showing about 45. Yeah, it's crossed 40. Probably it's showing about 50 dB, right? So, and this test both my radios. The S meter looks pretty much calibrated for amateur use. We are not a mil-spec station here. So, and I think the TinySA is also doing a very good job of generating the signals. So signal analyzer plus signal generator, and I've shown you how to use the signal generator to test the S meter. Thank you very much. So we have covered both the signal generator feature of TinySA with G90 as well as 7300 to test their S meters. Thank you very much. Have a great day and good year ahead.